then I can bring this up a little bit more so everybody. Oh, I'm gonna go this way more. Let me see. Does that work? Nope. Okay. I'm gonna figure this out, guys. Don't worry. There we go. Maybe that works. Yeah, I think that will do. All right. Hopefully, everyone is having a good day. There used to be a way I could bring up like the chat. Let me go here. That way, I can see the chat and as people come in. Alright, let's do this. Comment, pin message. Alright. Let me go back up. Pop this out. Okay. That way I can see if there are any comments and take questions. We'll see what happens. This is a first for me. Hopefully everybody can hear me. Let me bring this closer. Well, it's not the first for me. I did an indictment, a criminal indictment, on a serial killer, the Dayball one, but this is the first time going live with it, so to see how that goes. So if you don't know, you might be living in a under a rock or something. Sorry guys, I keep needing to breathe something. All right. If you don't know, and you're living under a rock, the former president, Donald J. Trump, and Waltine Nauta, I don't know who that is. That'll be interesting going into this. Was indicted on federal charges, which is the United States of America, in the Southern District of Florida, which I believe is in Miami. Well, I know it's in Miami, but I believe the Miami office is the one that came up with it. But let's go ahead and look these up. 18 U.S.C. Subsection 793. Subsection 793E. Alright, let's see what this one is. Alright, this is how we do it here. It is educational purposes only. Please, again, do not get political in the comments. If you have a question as we go through, please do feel free to let me know, and I'll answer it to the best of my ability. If you do not know, I am an attorney here in Florida, and yeah, so let's get into this. All right, so the first charge is whoever having unauthorized possession of, so we need to have, it needs to be unauthorized, and they need to have possession of, access to, or control over. All right, so we have, you know what, let me bring up a sticky note. Sticky note. Oh, wait. I don't want to do that. All right. Bring this up here so we can keep track of everything. All right. So the test for 793 echo. So 1 must have unauthorized. It must be unauthorized, and they must have 2 POSSES of a CCS2 control over or being entrusted with. All right. So we know it has to be unauthorized possession. They have to have possession of, access to, control over, or being entrusted with. A lot of documents here. Over any documents, writing, code books. So we'll just do documents because that's what pretty much this one is. 3 documents. All right, and then 4. All right, but we'll read it. So documents, writings, code books, signal books, sketch, photographs, photographic, negative, blueprints, plan, map, model, instruments, appliance, or note relating to the national defense. So it has to be related to national defense. Or information relating to the national defense, which the information the possessor has reason to believe. So intent has reason to believe. Hello, Elle. How are you? Welcome to this live stream. Could be used to injure. Could be used to the injury of the United States. So, believe. And it has to 5, injure, or cause injury to U.S. or advantage to FN, foreign nations. Willfully communicates. Okay, so actually intent is willful. Will, if I can spell, fully. How do I even spell this? Alright, willfully communicates, delivers, or transmits. So intent is willfully transmits, communicates. So it's willfully communicates, delivers, transmits, or cause to be communicated, deliver, okay. Transmit, communicated, okay. The same to any person not entitled to receive it, or willfully retains the same and fails to deliver it to the officer or employee. All right, or 1 willfully retains the same and fails to deliver it to the officer or employee of the U.S. entitled to receive it. All right, so we know that it has to be an unauthorized possession of, access to, control over, or being entrusted with documents, etc., related to national defense that, if it is transmitted, can cause injury to the U.S. or advantage to foreign nations, and they communicate it willfully communicate it to people who are not authorized to receive it, or willfully retains the same and fails to deliver it to the officer or employee of the United States entitled to receive it. So we now know what that is. All right. 1512K. 1512K. All right, so this is a conspiracy, which is... Oh, that's not it. All right. K. Whoever conspires... All right, well, let's see. So it starts with... So I guess it's 2K, right? What am I looking for? 1512. It just says 1512K, but usually it starts up at 2. So A. Okay. Wait. A. Oh, yeah. Okay. Never mind. Misread it. All right. Whoever conspires to commit any offense under this section shall be subject to the same penalties as those prescribed for the offense of the commission. Okay. So this one is a conspiracy. So subsection. So 1512K. Conspires. Let's put that. RES to commit any offense under this section shall be subject to the same PNAL as the for the offense the commission of which was the object the SP RCY. Alright, and I think it's important. Criminal death of RCY. Alright, so in criminal law, a conspiracy is an agreement between two or more persons to commit a crime at some time in the future. Alright, so that's probably why the indictment also has this Waltine Nauta. So for there to be conspiracy, there has to be more than one person to try to commit a crime. Alright, so then, but you also have to allege a crime, so I'm assuming we have another 1512. We do. B2A. Alright, so then B2A. Wrong one. Sticky notes. And then, so the underlying offense is 1512. I think it's 2 or A2B. A. B2A. Come on, there we go. B2A. All right. So this one is, so how we find that, we go to 1512, which is tampering with a witness, victim, or an informant. So then we go not A. We go down till we find B, 2, and A. All right, so whoever knowingly, all right, so we got this. Intent, knowingly. 1. Whoever knowingly uses intimidation, THREATENS, or corruptly, PERSUATES. All right. Who do they have to do that to? Another person. And then, or attempts. So, uses or attempts to use let me go back to another person. 3. Well, actually, let me go. Or 3 engages in misleading conduct, TORDARDS, another person with intent to. So what are they intending to do? We go to B2. All right. 4. Cause or let me do this. With intent to, for CAUSE. I don't even know if anybody's watching this, to be honest. Oh well, I'm enjoying it. Learned. Let's see. Attempts, cause or induce any person to, and then it says B, right? A. 5. Withhold, TSTIMONY, or withhold a record, document, or other object from an official PROC. Alright, so what do we got here for this one? We know they need to knowingly use or attempt to use intimidation, threats, or corruptly persuades another person, or so they can do this, or engages in misleading conduct towards another person with the intent to cause or induce any person to withhold testimony or withhold a record, document, or other object from an official proceeding. So we got that. So they can either do this or be a part of a conspiracy to do this. So again, if you are the person who does it, you're guilty. But if you conspired with another person, the person who you conspired with is also guilty of it. That's what 1512K means. All right. And then we go back to the indictment. All right. Now we got 1512C1. So same place. 1512C1. All right, so we go back down to C. So whoever, UPTLY, all right, 1 alters DSTRYS, mutilates or conceals a record, document, or other object, or attempts to do so. 2 with the intent. So we got intent to with the intent to impair the object's integrity or availability for use in official proceedings. Wait, 15C1, right? It was 15C1. Yeah, okay. All right. 2 with the intent to impair the objects INTEG TY or AVA ILAB LITY, and it has to be in an official PROCEDING. All right, so again, we have somebody who alters, destroys, blah, 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 or attempts to do so. Documents. Oh, let me do that. Documents or other objects, or attempts to do so with the intent to impair the object's integrity or availability in an official proceeding. You are guilty of that. And then shall punishment P-N-I-S-H. This one has a punishment, so shall be fined under this title or MPRE SONED not more than 20 years or both. All right, so if you do this, or you conspire to do this under 1512K, your punishment shall, or you can be punished, you're fined or imprisoned for not more than 20 years, or you can be fined and imprisoned for not more than 20 years. So we got I think a couple of these so far. All right, let's keep going. Next on the indictment is 101 or 1001A1. This sounds like probably okay. So A1. All right, so 1001 A1 is except as otherwise provided in this section. So whoever in any matter within, all right, so it has to be whoever and any matter within the jurisdiction of the XECUTIVEGISLATIVE or branch of the government of USGOV. Obviously, we are paraphrasing some of this. All right, so intent is knowingly, so you can't do it accidentally. It has to be knowingly and willfully. So you have to know you're doing it, and you have to be doing it under your own accord. All right. 1. And then FALS. So 2. ALS. IFIES conceals or covers up by any 3 TRICK SCHEME or device a material fact. And then punishment, fine, imprison, PRISONED, not more than 5 years, or if offense involves international or domestic terrorism, so unless international or DOMESTICM 8 years or both. There you go. We are moving right along. We're almost to the indictment, A2. So it's good to know what all this is. So when you're looking at the indictment, you understand what they have to prove. All right, 2. So we have all this again. Copy. Paste. All right. Makes any material, all right, 2 makes any materially false, fic, TIOUS, or FRAUDULENTST. for representation. Same punishment. So, except otherwise provided by this section, whoever in any matter within the jurisdiction of the executive, legislative, or judicial branch of the government of the U.S. knowingly and willfully falsifies, conceals, or cover up by tricks, schemes, or device a material fact. So they have to hide. Actually, we need to do for a material fact, or they make any false, materially false, fictitious, or fraudulent statement or representation. So we know those. All right. And then I think we have one more. Yep. 18 U.S.C. 2. Interesting. At the beginning of the criminal code. Oh, and then accessory is what it is, I guess. Whoever commits an offense against the United States or aids or abets is punishable as a principal. Okay, so it's just, this is principal. Again, what it's saying is if you're a conspiracy, if you're in a conspiracy or you aid and abet or help in any way to commit a crime against the U.S., it doesn't matter if you actually committed the crime. You are punishable as such. You committed the crime. All right, now let's get into the indictment. So grand jury, what do we know about a grand jury? A grand jury is made up of numerous people. It can be, I think in Florida, 16. I'm not 100% sure. Grand jury, amount of people in Florida. They usually do it. So are consist of 18 members, and a quorum is 15. So they don't always have to be present, but 15 have to be present in order to bring down an indictment. And so what they do, they get in a group. It's kind of like a jury trial, but there's an old adage that anybody you can indict a ham sandwich, is because you get to prove or you get to show whatever evidence you want, regardless of if it'll ever come into an actual courtroom. You can call the witnesses you want. The defendant's not present. The defense attorney's not present. So really, the only people that the grand jury gets to hear from is the people that the prosecution wants them to hear from. Doesn't matter if the testimony will be allowed in court. None of that matters, but that's what it is. A lot of good prosecutors will use a grand jury as kind of a test run to make sure that they have enough evidence to convict. I don't know. It's very secretive. We don't know what happened in this one. I can't comment one way or the other. So I don't know why my mic has decided not to mute. Sorry for coughing in your ear. All right. So introduction. The defendant, Donald J. Trump, was the 45th president of the United States of America. He held office from January 20, 2017 until January 20th, 2021. As president, Trump had lawful access to the most sensitive classified documents. Okay, so they're laying that out. And national defense information gathered and owned by the U.S. government, including information from agencies that comprise the United States intelligence community and the U.S. Department of Defense. Over the course of his presidency, Trump gathered newspaper press clippings, letters, notes, cards, photographs, official documents, and other materials in cardboard boxes that he kept at the White House. Among the materials Trump stored in his boxes were hundreds of classified documents. So they're bringing that in. So he kept all of this stuff, including classified documents, which is necessary for things to come, obviously. The classified documents Trump stored in his boxes included information regarding defense, weapons capability of both U.S. and foreign countries, United States nuclear program, potential vulnerabilities of the United States and its allies to military attacks, and plans for possible retaliation in response to foreign attack. The unauthorized disclosure, okay, so unauthorized disclosure, right? We're going back to 793. What was it? I thought it was K, right? No, 793E. Whoever has unauthorized possession of, access to, or control over any document, blah, 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 or blah, 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 which information the possessor has reason to believe could injure the U.S., willfully communicates, delivers, transmits, or causes to be communicated Yeah, so we got that, right? So what they're saying here, indictment, is he had all of this stuff, and the unauthorized disclosure of, I don't know why that keeps coming up. The unauthorized disclosure of these classified documents could put the risk of national security of the United States, foreign relations, the safety of the United States military, and human sources in continued vulnerabilities. So they're laying the groundwork. They're saying, look, this is very important information he had. At 12 p.m. on January 20th, 2021, Trump ceased to be president, right? This is where they're going to say he no longer had authorized access to these documents. As he departed the White House, Trump caused scores of boxes, many of which contained classified documents, to be transported to the Mar-a-Lago Club in Palm Beach, Florida, where he maintained his residence. Trump was not authorized to possess or retain these classified documents. That's what he's coming for under 18 U.S. Code 793. Right here. Unauthorized possession. He's not authorized to these anymore because he's not the president. That is what they're alleging here. The Mar-a-Lago Club was an active social club which, between January 2021 and August 2022, hosted events for tens of thousands of members and guests. After Trump's presidency, the Mar-a-Lago Club was not an authorized location for storage, possession, review, display, or discussion of classified documents. Nevertheless, Trump stored his boxes containing classified documents in various locations at the Mar-a-Lago Club, including a ballroom, a bathroom, and a shower, an office space, his bedroom, and a storage room. All right, so what do we got here? Or willfully retains. All right, we got that. But what they're doing is they're saying here that he should know, or he should have known, that these unauthorized spaces would allow people who were not supposed to have it, or not supposed to read it, to be able to read these classified documents. That's what they're laying out here. You know what? Let me make sure of live chat. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anybody. Let me see if I have anybody on YouTube watching. Just interested real quick. Oh, not very good. Interesting. Okay, well, it is what it is. We're getting back to, on 2 occasions in 2021, Trump showed classified documents to others as follows. All right, this is where, again, we're getting into here. He is showing people who are not authorized. So he's communicating it, willfully communicating it to people who are not authorized to this thing. In July 2021, the Trump National Golf Club in Bedminster, New Jersey, during an audio recorded meeting with a writer, a publisher, and 2 members of his staff, none of whom possessed a security clearance, so they're not authorized, Trump showed and described a plan of attack that Trump said was prepared for him by the Department of Defense and a senior military official. Trump told the individuals that the plan was highly confidential. So now they're saying, again, they're saying this is highly confidential and secret. Trump also said, as president, I could have declassified it, and now I can't. But this is still a secret. So they're saying, again, they're trying to lay out that he knew or should have known he was not allowed to do this, that it was a classified information. He was not supposed to have access to it, or even if he wasn't authorized he was unauthorized, and he communicated it to more unauthorized people. So you see where it's going here. In August or September 2021, At the Bedminster Club, Trump showed a representative of his Political Action Committee, who did not possess a security clearance, a classified map related to a military operation and told the representative that he should not be showing it to the representative and that the representative should not get too close. Again, not supposed to have these documents, showing it to people who have or who are not supposed to see these documents. On March 30th, 2022, the Federal Bureau of Investigation opened a criminal investigation into the unlawful retention of classified documents at the Mar-a-Lago Club. The federal grand jury investigation began the next month. The grand jury issued a subpoena requiring Trump to turn over all the documents with classified markings. Trump endeavored to obstruct the FBI and grand jury investigation and conceal his continued retention of this classified documents by, among other things. All right, now is it tampering? No. So this is it. In any matter within the jurisdiction of the executive, legislative, and judicial branch of the government of the United States, knowingly and willfully falsify, conceal, or covers up by trick, scheme, or device a material fact. So these, I would assume, is what they're going under the 18 U.S. Code 101. Suggesting that his attorney falsely represent to the FBI and grand jury that Trump did not have documents called for by the jury. So this is falsifies or makes materially false, fictitious, or fraudulent. And again, you as a principal or as an agent, as long as there's a conspiracy between the two, you're going to be charged the same. And so even if Trump didn't make these, but he told his attorney to make them, then he can still be charged. Directing defendant Walton Nauta to move boxes of documents to conceal them for Trump's attorney, the FBI, and the grand jury. Okay, so this is, I guess, the person. So more obstruction. Suggesting that his attorney hide or destroy documents called for by the grand jury. Providing to the FBI and grand jury that some of the documents called for by the grand jury subpoena while claiming that he was cooperating fully, and causing a certification to be submitted to the FBI and grand jury, falsely representing that all documents called for by the grand jury subpoena have been produced while knowing that, in fact, not all such documents have been produced. As a result of Trump's retention of classified documents after his presidency and refusal to return them, hundreds of classified documents were not recovered by the United States government until 2022. But also, remember, we also have or willfully retains the same and fails to deliver it to the official employee of the United States entitled to receive it. So he could also still be charged under 18793 E for that. As a result of Trump's retention, okay, we already read that. On January 17th, nearly 1 year after Trump left office and after months of demand by the National Archives and Record Administration for Trump to provide all missing presidential records, Trump provided only 15 boxes, which contained 197 documents with classification markings. On June 3rd, in response to a grand jury subpoena demanding the production of all documents with classification markings, Trump attorney provided to the FBI 38 more documents with classification markings. On August 8th, pursuant to a court-authorized search warrant, the FBI recovered from Trump's office and storage room at the Mar-a-Lago Club 102 more documents with classified markings. All right, so found more. Trump's co-conspirator. So the conspiracy is between Trump and Mr. Nauta. Defendant Nauta was a member of the United States Navy stationed as a valet in the White House during Trump's presidency. Am I reading that right? Valet. Man's personal male attendant who is responsible for his clothing and appearance, or hotel employee who attends to the clothes of guest or person entitled to clean a parked cars. Okay, so he either parked his car, picked his clothes, no idea. I would not want that job when I was in the Navy. That's an interesting job. Beginning in August 2021, Nauta became an executive assistant in the office of the Donald J. Trump and served as Trump's personal aide or body man. Nauta reported to Trump, worked closely with Trump, and traveled with Trump. The Mar-a-Lago Club. The Mar-a-Lago Club was located on South Ocean Boulevard in Palm Beach, Florida, and includes Trump's residence, more than 25 guest rooms, 2 ballrooms, a spa, a gift store, exercise facilities, office spaces, and an outdoor pool and patio. As of January 2021, the Mar-a-Lago Club had hundreds of members and was staffed by more than... Okay, this is all background between... More than 150 social events. The United States Secret Service provided protection services for Trump and his family after he left office, including the Mar-a-Lago Club, but it was not responsible for protection of Trump's boxes or their contents. Trump did not inform the Secret Service that he was storing boxes containing classified documents at the Mar-a-Lago Club. Classified information. All right. Information with... This is definition. So right here. Top secret, or confidential. Information with classified as top secret if the unauthorized disclosure of that information reasonably could be expected to cause exceptionally grave danger to the national security that the original classification authority was able to identify or describe. Secret if the unauthorized disclosure of that information reasonably could if the unauthorized disclosure of that information reasonably could be expected to cause serious damage to the national security, or confidential, unauthorized could be expected to cause damage to national security. So those are the designations: top secret, secret, confidential. The classification marking no foreign, so no foreign, stood for not reasonable to foreign nationals, not releasable to foreign nationals, and denoted that dissemination of that information was limited to United States persons. Sensitive compartmented information, SCI, was to be processed, stored, used, and discussed in an accredited sensitive compartment information, a SCIF. All right. When the vulnerability of or threat to specific classified information was exceptional, the national criteria for determining eligibility for that access to classified information was insufficient to protect the information from unauthorized disclosure. The United States could establish special access program to further protect the classified information. The number of these programs was kept to an absolute minimum and limited to programs in which the number of persons who ordinarily would have access would be reasonably small, and commiserates with the objective of providing enhanced protections for information involved. All right, presuming to information classified at any level could be lawfully accessed only by persons determined by the appropriate United States government official to be eligible for access to classified information on a need-to-know basis. After his presidency, Trump was not authorized to possess or retain classified documents. All right, there you go. Executive Order 13526 provided that the former president could obtain a waiver of need-to-know requirement if the agency head or senior agency official of the agency that originated the classified information determined in writing that access was consistent with the intent of national security and took appropriate steps to protect classified information from unauthorized disclosure or compromise, and ensure that the information was safeguarded in a manner consistent with the order. Trump did not obtain such order. All right, this is what it's saying here is that these are the executive branch department agencies, classified documents. All right, so these are the agencies that he kept documents from: CIA, DOD, NSA, NGIA, National Geospatial Intelligence. Okay. What's that? It was a combat support agency within the DOD responsible for exploration and analysis of imagery. Oh, that's cool. The NRO, National Reconnaissance, the DOE, DOS, and Bureau of Intelligence and Research. All right. his public statements on classified information. On August 18th, Trump stated, in my administration, I'm going to enforce all laws concerning the protection of classified information. No one will be above the law. So they're saying here, this is what he said about it before, I guess, becoming president. 16, September 6th. We also need to fight this battle by collecting intelligence and then protecting our classified secrets. We can't have someone in the Oval Office who doesn't understand the meaning of the word confidential or classified. One of the first things we must do is enforce all classification rules and to enforce all laws relating to the handling of classified information. Pretty much what they're trying to do here is use his words that he used against, I guess, presidential candidate Hillary at the time, and use them against him. One of the first things we must do is enforce, we also need the best protection of classified information. Service members here in the North Carolina have risked their lives to acquire classified intelligence to protect our country. All right. As president, Trump issued the following statements about classified information. As head of the executive branch and commander-in-chief, I have a unique constitutional responsibility to protect the nation's classified information, including by controlling access to it. More broadly, the issue of a former executive branch official's security clearance raises larger questions about the practice of former officials maintaining access to our nation's most sensitive secrets long after their time in government has ended. Such access is particularly inappropriate when former officials have transitioned into highly partisan positions and seek to use real or perceived access to sensitive information to validate their political attack. Any access granted to our nation's secrets should be in furtherance of the national, not personal interest. Again, trying to use his words against him that he previously used. All right. Retention of documents after his presidency. We have pictures of it, I guess, here. A lot of this we already read. He kept it at Mar-a-Lago. In March 2021, Nauta and others moved some Trump boxes from White and Gold Ballroom to the Business Center in the Mar-a-Lago Club. An employee of the official Donald J. Trump texted another employee that the office, Trump employee 2, to ask whether Trump's box could be moved out of the Business Center to make room for staff to use it as an office. Trump employee 2 replied, "Whoa, okay." So POTUS specifically asked Walt for those boxes to be in the Business Center because they are his papers. Later that day, Trump employee 1 said to 2, exchanged the following text messages: "We can definitely make it work if we move his papers into the lake room. There is still a little room in the shower where his other stuff is. Is it only the papers he cares about? There's other stuff in there that are not papers. Could go into storage or something else." Okay. Yes, anything that is not the beautiful mind paper boxes can definitely go in storage. Want to take a look at the space. Start moving in the AM. Move boxes. Okay. Directed in 2021, Trump directed that a storage room on the ground floor of Mar-a-Lago Club be cleaned out so it could be used to store his boxes. The hallway leading to the storage room could be reached from multiple outside entrances, so not secure is what it's saying here. On June 2021, Trump's boxes were in the lake room, were moved to the storage room, still not secure. All right, depicted in pictures here and here. On December 7th, 2021, Nauta found several of Trump's boxes fallen and their contents spilled to the floor in the storage room, including documents marked secret rel to US FVEY, which noted that the information in the documents were reasonable only to the Five Eyes intelligence alliance consisting of Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and the United Kingdom and the United States. Probably shouldn't have that in an open document. Nauta texted, you probably shouldn't have that in a document that they all can see, right? Nauta texted Trump employee 2, "I opened the door and found this." Nauta also attached photographs that he took of the spill. Trump 2 replied, oh no, I'm sorry, POTUS had my phone." depicted with visible classified Trump's unlawful retention of the documents charged in count 8 of this indictment. Trump's disclosure of classified information in private meetings. We already talked about it. The Bedminster Club. In July, when he was no longer president, Trump gave an interview. 2 members of Trump's staff was there. Before the interview, the media had published reports that at the end of the Trump's term as president, a senior military official purportedly feared that Trump might order an attack on Country A, and that the U.S. and the senior military official advised Trump against doing so. I think this is in reference to China, not 100% sure, and that if that he was just worried, and I think it was somebody within the DOD. Upon greeting the writer, publisher, and the staff member, Trump stated, "Look what I found. This was blank's plan of attack. Read it and just show. It's interesting." Later in the with the senior military official, let me see that. I'll show you an example. He said that I wanted to attack Country A. Isn't that amazing? I have a big pile of papers. This thing just comes up. Look. This was him. They presented me this. This is off the record, but they presented me this. This was him. This was the Defense Department, and him. Wow. We looked at some. This was him. This wasn't done by me. This was him. All sorts of pages long. Look. Blah blah blah. Wait a minute. Let's see here. Yeah. I just found. Isn't it amazing? This totally wins my case. Except it is like highly confidential, secret. That is secret information. Look at this. You attack. I don't know. This is just reads weird. If there's a recording of it, sure, I'd like to hear it. But it just reads weird. I was just thinking because we were talking about it, and he said he wanted to attack Country A, and what you did. This was done by the military given to me. I think we could probably, right? I don't know. We'll have to see. Yeah, we'll have to see. Declassify it. Figure it out. Yeah. See, as a president, I could have declassified it. Yeah. Now I can't, but it's still a secret. Yeah. Now we have a problem. Isn't that interesting? They did not have a secret clearance, a security clearance. August and September 2021, when he was no longer president, Trump met in his office at the Bedminster Club with a representative of his Political Action Committee, his PAC. During the meeting, Trump commented on ongoing military operations in Country B was not going well. Trump showed the PAC representative a classified map of Country B and told the PAC representative that he should not be showing the map to the PAC representative and not to get too close. Again, this is all for 793. On February 16, 2017, 4 years before Trump's disclosure of classified information set forth, Trump said at a press conference, again, using his words against him, the first thing I thought of when I heard about this, how does the press get this information that's classified? How do they do it? You know why? Because it's an illegal process and the press should be ashamed of themselves. But more importantly, the people who gave out that information to the press should be ashamed of themselves, really ashamed. Honestly, from a legal point, I think I would have kept out all of his quotes just because I don't think they add anything other than to try to win in a public forum. But it's not me that's prosecuting the case. Trump's production of 15 cardboard boxes. All right, they turned over 15. Nothing about boxes yet. He has one he's working on, and Pine Hall knocked out 2 boxes yesterday. Next, you are on the... Trump employee texted Danuta asking, next, you are on the property, no rush. Could you help me bring 4 more boxes up? Yes, of course. This is all about cleaning out the boxes, I'm assuming, in order to turn them over. We gathered 15 boxes from Trump's residence, loaded in Danuta's car, and took the commercial truck to delivery to Nara. When interviewed by the FBI in May 2022, he falsely stating that he was not aware of Trump's boxes being brought to Trump's residence for his review before Trump provided the 15 boxes to Nara. Regarding the location and movement of boxes. Okay. falsely stating that he did not know how the boxes that he and Trump employee 2 brought from Trump's residence to the commercial truck had gotten to the residence, and then when asked whether or not Trump's boxes were to be stored before they were in Trump's residence and whether he had been in a secure locked location. I wish I could tell you. I just don't know. So these are false statements being made. Whether or not Trump knew about it or did it, if he knew about these being made or tried to have them be made, then he is guilty of the crime. Sorry, guys. I gotta look at my phone here. Alright, nothing new. And that's what they're going for there. I'm just going down the line here, y'all. Sorry. And determined that 14 boxes contained documents with classification markings, specifically that the FBI determined the boxes contained 197 documents with classified markings, of which 98 were marked secret, 30 were marked top secret, and the remainder were confidential. Alright. Refer the discovery of classified documents to Trump's boxes to the DOJ. Alright. FBI and the grand jury investigation. FBI opened a criminal investigation. The federal grand jury opened its investigation. Also, grand juries can subpoena records. So if they think they need something new, they can ask for it and they can get it. Oh, see? The grand jury issued a subpoena to DOT Donald Trump asking for more. Trump attorney 1 accepted the service. Right. Met with Trump attorney 1, Trump attorney 2 at Mar-a-Lago to discuss the response to May 11th subpoena. Trump attorney 1 and 2 told Trump that they needed to search for documents that would be responsive to the subpoena. Trump attorney 1, I don't want anybody looking. I don't want anybody looking through my boxes. I really don't. I don't want you to look through my boxes. Well, what happens if we don't respond at all or don't play ball with them? Wouldn't it be better if we just told them that we don't have anything here? Well, look, isn't it better if there are no documents? All right. Attorney, he was great. He did a great job. You know what? He said that it was him, that he was the only one who deleted all of her emails, the 30,000 emails, because they basically dealt with her scheming or her scheduling and her going to the gym and her having beauty appointments. And he was great, and he didn't get in any trouble because he said that he was the one that deleted them. What the heck? While meeting with Trump attorney 1 and Trump attorney 2 on May 23rd, Trump and substance told the following story. I'm confused. Okay. Trump related the story more than once that day. Also confirmed his understanding with Trump attorney 1 that Trump attorney 1 would return to Mar-a-Lago and search for documents. Trump indicated that he wanted to be at the Mar-a-Lago club when he returned to review his boxes. Would change his summer travel plans to do so. After meeting with TA1, TA2 on May 23rd, Trump delayed his departure from the Mar-a-Lago to the Bedmasters Club for the summer so that he would represent the Mar-a-Lago club or be present, okay, to discuss the May 11th subpoena and June 2nd when Trump, okay. On May 24th, 2022, between 5:30 and 5:38, Naruto removed 3 boxes from the storage room. Trump and Naruto spoke on the phone for approximately 30 seconds between 10 and 10:02 a.m. and 11:51 a.m. Removed a total of approximately 50 boxes from the storage room. Good afternoon, Walt. Happy Memorial Day. I saw you put the boxes on the POTUS room, just FYI, and I will tell him as well. Not sure how many he wants to take on Friday on the plane. We will not have a full room for them. Plane will be full of luggage. Thank you. Now we're to reply. Good afternoon, ma'am. Smiley face emoji. Thank you so much. I think he will want to pick from them. I don't imagine he wants to take the boxes. He told me to put them in the room. Okay, I still don't understand why all this is relevant on June 1st. Oh, okay. removed boxes from the storage room so it couldn't be found, I'm assuming. Spoke with Trump 1 by the phone and asked whether TA1 was coming to Mar-a-Lago Club the next day for exactly what purpose. TA1 reminded Trump that the Trump attorney was going to review the boxes and have been transported from the White House and remained in storage at the Mar-a-Lago Club so that Trump attorney 1 could have custodian. Okay. One thing I wanted to look up. Presidential Declassification Authority. I haven't looked into this at all, so that's kind of what I want to check. I don't want any of that. Archives. Alright. The declassification of presidential papers and records presents some unique issues which normally require a page-by-page review and referral to the originating, and it says which normally, okay, so normally, referral to the originating agency rather than declassification by using guidance delegated to the archivist. These factors include presidential papers because of the highest, presidential, it's not what I thought it was. I don't want, like, an opinion piece on it. I just want actual wording. Persons who are delegated original classification authority shall attend mandatory classification training. Chief Security Officer. Officials authorized to classify information at specified levels are also authorized to classify information at lower levels. Declassification authority may be exercised by the official who authorized the original classification if that official is still serving in the same position. The originator's classification successor in function if that individual is a supervisory official of either the originator, function if the supervisor official has the original, or official delegated declassification authority by the secretary or the chief security officer. Okay. I still don't think that necessarily see, I don't want all of this other stuff because I don't like opinion pieces about it. It's going to give you sway one way or the other. The authority to downgrade and declassify information or material shall be exercised as followed. Information or material may be downgraded or declassified by the official authorizing. Okay. Downgrading may also be exercised by an official specifically authorized under the regulation issued by the head of the department. In the case of classified information or material transferred pursuant to statute or executive order, receiving department. Okay. In the case of classified information or material not officially transferred under paragraph 3. Okay. Classified information or material transferred to the General Servicemen GSA for ascension to archives. Still don't know if this is going to be neutral, but at least it has a .gov. The Blockbuster articles. Okay. Does it tell me where to find it at least, actually? Let me look. Okay, so experts agree that the president, as commander-in-chief, is ultimately responsible for classification. When someone lower in the chain of command, which usually is how it's done, it is because they have been delegated to do so by the president directly or by appointee. The majority ruling in the 1988 Supreme Court case, Department of Navy's v. Egan, which addresses the legal recourse of the Navy employee who had been denied a secret clearance, addresses the line of authority. The President, after all, is the Commander-in-Chief of the Army and the Navy in the United States. His authority to classify and control access to information bearing national security flows primarily from the constitutional investment of the power of the President and exists quite apart from the explicit congressional grant. Okay. In fact, Robert Turner, Associate Director of the... if Congress were to enact a statute seeking to limit the presidential authority to classify national security information or to prohibit him from sharing certain kinds of information with Russia, it would also raise a serious separation of powers constitutional issue. But even the executive orders aren't necessarily binding on the President. The President is not obliged to follow any procedure other than those that he himself prescribed, and he can change those. Indeed, the controlling executive order comments that holds water when it comes to the existence of person, but some experts say that the notable aspect of a particular case involving Trump. The first caveat: while Trump has the power to declassify information, he doesn't appear to have done that in this case, at least at the time the story broke. There's no question that the President has broad authority to declassify almost anything at any time without any process, but that's not what happened here. He did not, in fact, declassify the information he shared, which is why the Washington Post did not publish the information. Instead, Trump took it upon himself to authorize the officials from a foreign government to receive classified national security information that was itself derived from... It's not the same thing. I don't know if this... Oh, this was in 2017. Okay, I'm done reading about that. That hurts my brain. Let's finish the indictment. Oh, we are only about halfway through. You gotta be kidding me, y'all. Alright, so more of this false certification that he had given everything over to them. He made a funny motion as though, well, okay, why don't you take them? The hotel room is really bad in there, like, pluck it out. Okay. Diligent search was conducted for the boxes that were moved from the White House to Florida. This search was conducted at receipt of the subpoena in order to locate any of the responsive documents accompanying the certification. They're saying that was a lie. The court authorized search of the Mar-a-Lago. Okay, they found more after that search. Counts 1 through 31, willful retaining. Okay, so this is 7093E. Alright. On or about the date set forth in the table below, the Palm Beach County in the Southern District, okay, Donald J. Trump having unauthorized possession of access to blah, blah, blah. We already went over that. All of these documents concerning intelligence briefing related to various foreign countries. All of these documents. Okay, that's why most of this is. Let's look at a few. Documents dated August 30th, 2019 concerning White House intelligence briefing related to various foreign countries. So a lot of this seems like briefings, at least. Undated document concerning military activities of foreign countries. Document dated October 24th, 2019 concerning military activities in foreign countries. Documents dated... Okay... In violation of the Title 18, okay, we already knew that. All right, count 32, conspiracy to obstruct justice. So this is under 1512K. The general allegations from May 11th to August 2022. Donald J. Trump and Waltine Nauta did knowingly combine to conspire for the purpose of this conspiracy. The purpose was to keep classified documents he had taken from the White House and to hide and conceal them from the federal grand jury. The manner and means of the conspiracy, how it was conducted, manner and means by which the defendant sought to accomplish, suggesting TA1 falsely represent to the FBI that Trump did not have documents called for in the May 11th subpoena, moving boxes to hide them, suggesting TA1 hide or destroy documents, providing to the FBI and grand jury some of the documents, but not all of them, to make it seem like he was cooperating fully, causing a false certification to be submitted to the FBI and the grand jury, and making false and misleading statements. All right, and then we got 15B to A2. All right, the general allegations of the indictment are realleged. Okay, they knowingly engaged in misleading conduct towards another person, so they lied. Trump attempted to persuade TA1 to hide and conceal documents from the federal jury, and 2, Trump and Norwood misled Trump and TA1 by moving boxes. 34, corruptly concealing a document or record. So again, they hid it. Concealing a document in a federal investigation. So again, they hid it, that this is a federal investigation, and that's why it is scheme to conceal. Again, okay, in a matter within the jurisdiction of the judicial branch, investigation conducted by hid and concealed from the grand jury, FBI Trump's, and the FBI Trump's continued possession of classified markings. Okay, false representation, so they lied, a diligent search was conducted, false representation, right? The representations set forth above were false, and as Trump knew, so he knew, because Trump had directed the boxes to be removed. Would not include all Trump's boxes that were removed from the White House. Attorney TA1 search would not locate those. All right. 38, false representation. Participated in a voluntary interview with the FBI. During the interview, the FBI explained to Naruto that the FBI was investigating how classified documents had been kept at Mar-a-Lago, and the FBI asked Naruto questions about locations of movement of Trump's boxes before Trump provided 15 boxes to Nara on January 17, 2022. Naruto was represented by counsel, and the FBI advised Naruto that the interview was voluntary and that he could leave at any time. Lying here about how they were taken to. I wish I could tell you. We already read a lot of this. And signed. That's obviously redacted to keep the proceedings confidential and the people in it confidential. All right, we got all of this. It's just okay. Max term imprisonment 10 years. We already knew all that. Max supervised release 3 years. Max fine 250, 20 years, and that's per count. I'm assuming that's per count, so that could be upwards of 310 years in prison. Added on to 330, 350, 70, 80, 90, 95, 100. 400 years, 420, 400 years. So he has a potential 400 years in prison, unless they run this concurrently, which then would be a max of 20 years. Concurrently means it runs all at one time, so instead of consecutive where you run them all, you do the longest time, which would be 20 years, with upwards of 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 4, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 100 and a lot of money, because for each count, $250,000 times 31. Well, actually, let's do the math. Might as well finish it out here, right, guys? All right. Wow, it's late. I need to go to bed. Calculator. So $250,000 times 31. So 7 million. We'll round up to about $9 million in fines, possibly. Which again, not much to Trump, but it is what it is. So yeah, 400 years and $9 million in possible penalties. So that's the indictment. We have read it for ourselves. You kind of understand it, hopefully a little bit better than you did before. How long have I been streaming for? An hour and 15 minutes. That's a long time. Did anybody else join? Let us see. Does not look so. But anyways, y'all, I hope you had a good day. And as always, until next time, YouTube, smile like you mean it from the Bushy Beard. Let's go ahead and end